What is going on, world? Welcome to the Mind 2F podcast, where we get locked and loaded. So, I'm sure you're probably all aware of what's going on in the fitness world between Quinton Beastwood and Matt Jansen. They were a team. They parted ways months ago, but finally Quinton has stepped up and said his piece, and totally respect to him. I think it's about time it's been said. But Quinton is a type of individual that's very respectful. And when you poke a bear for so long, or anyone, that person's going to come out and chime in. And he's just speaking from the heart, shooting from the hip. And he makes some very valid points. So without further ado, I just want to show you a little clip that he's been talking about. So we're going to tune into what he was saying. So check this out. I think it's very important that we all chime into this.
And I trusted his expertise because I thought he knew what he was doing, when in fact, listen, he must have never worked with somebody like me. I don't know, but I thought it was just a me thing, and I definitely took it a little bit personal because he gaslit me after it, and he said that my gear was fake. Yes, guys, he told me my gear was fake. It wasn't the 2 hours of fucking cardio that I was doing because you were afraid I wasn't going to show up in shape. It wasn't the 2 hours of cardio. It was my gear was fake. Now, there's your accountability after. People are wondering why I fired him. I'm like, well, how do you continue to work with someone when you can't agree on what the problem was? The problem was it was a miscalculation. It was a complete miscalculation for weeks, months of the prep.
There you have it, folks. Prime and right to the point. Miscalculation. So my point is, from someone as his knowledge, Matt Jansen, who's been in the game for so long, who's worked with great people from Dallas and Carver to who else? A lot of amateurs and pros. I believe Justin Compton, if I'm not mistaken. My point is, have you ever worked with an Afro-American person, black? It plays a little bit of a role, and here's why. The genetics are slightly different. You have to know their body. Some people get more conditioned than others. Yes, in whites, blacks, Hispanics, but have you worked with someone with black genetics? I don't think you has. That was the first time. So let's move forward and say, okay, you've been with him for 6 months or close to a year, and your off-season things are going well. How did he regress in the New York Pro? He didn't look the same. He looked like not the same Quinton that we're used to seeing. So it's obviously something went wrong. And back to Quinton's point, when the coach, Matt, says, accuse him of maybe your gear's fake. I know Quinton, not saying that we're best of friends, but this guy doesn't cut corners in anything he does. When his training, on point. His eating is on point. So do you really think he's going to go and get fake gear? No, that's not Quinton. So the point of this whole thing is, coaches and clients, you need to find a coach that, number one, knows your body, previous track record, of course, but you got to ask yourself, what's going to make me better going forward? What can this coach bring to the table? What can I bring to the table? How you guys mesh. You can have the best coaches in the world, and you and the client just don't mesh. My point of view is, when I interview a client, I ask them a couple questions. Why do you want to do this? What's important to you? Where are you in life? And how is your health markers? And the main thing is your mindset. This sport is very selfish. It takes you to places where you've never been before. It's different from the amateurs and the pros. And I'm going to tell you straight up. A lot of you amateurs think it's easy. You don't see behind the scenes what we go through as a pro. It's a different mindset. You've got to be kind of fucked up in a way, because you're losing your social life. And if you really want to dive in deep to become a pro, you really got to cut up a lot of things. So that's my point today I wanted to make, is mindset. Where are you? How do you manifest? And how do you cipher between, I'm going to work with this person, why do I want to work with this person? Write down pros and cons before you just jump to the conclusion. Not saying Quinton jumped to the conclusion because, like I know, Quinton has great genetics, but he also works hard. And don't get me wrong, when he made a great point when he said he compares himself to like Samson and Andrew. That's a great comparison. Their body structure is similar. So when you went with Matt and Matt just regressed, your body, it's like, come on, how do you not know this? Matt worked with Nick Walker. Nick Walker pulled the Olympia last year due to an injury. Hope he gets better. This year, his body didn't respond. The same excuse was maybe it's because of the drugs. Come on. Like, is that your go-to every second? How about you take accountability and say, hey, I messed up, I miscalculated, and I did things wrong. At the end of the day, as a client, we will listen to you. We do as you say, but you need to guide us in the right direction, and you need to take onus. Obviously, he didn't look in shape. Sean Clarita, I don't think this is the best Sean we've seen. He looked better prior, but it seems like each year now he's regressed. Hello, maybe it's time for other people to realize, yeah, he has a great name. And I'm not bashing Matt. I met him once. Great individual. Is he smart? Of course he is. But sometimes you need to take onus on what you do and accountability. So that's my point for today. I just want to come on and chime in on the situation. And Quint, if you see this, and if I see you around, keep shining, brother. We know you haven't tapped into your full potential, and can't wait to see you back on stage, brother. So from Arch Weft to everyone else, love, peace, and mindset. We out.